All right, let's dive right in. In what felt like the blink of an eye, the entire rulebook for listing real estate has been thrown into complete chaos. It has been a massive whirlwind. And in this explainer, we're going to break down what just happened and what it all means for the industry.
This quote from Inman just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures how everyone is feeling right now. It's like the ground is moving under your feet, and the rules are changing not just by the day, but practically by the hour. Our job here is to make some sense of all that uncertainty.
And we're not talking about a small change here, it is a full blown whirlwind. So let's get our bearings, shall we? We'll start by taking a look at how things stand right now.
First things first, we need to wrap our heads around the current landscape. Think of this as a snapshot of an industry that is very, very much in motion. It's the only way to really understand all the commotion.
And really think about that timeline for a second. This isn't some gradual change that's been happening over months or years. Nope, this was a sudden, super disruptive shift that unfolded over just a few days. It's made the simple act of listing a property, well, incredibly complex. So to really understand the chaos, we have to talk about the one concept that's sitting right at the heart of all this confusion. And that brings us to our next section. Let's finally get clear on what pre-MLS listings actually are. This is the big question, right? This one term is at the absolute center of the whole debate. So if you want to follow what's happening, you have to know what it means. Let's break it down. Okay, so the most important word here is before. The MLS, the multiple listing service, that's the big open marketplace where pretty much every home is listed for the whole world to see. A pre-MLS listing, on the other hand, is a property that's marketed more quietly first, maybe just inside a single brokerage or to a small, select group of agents, before it ever hits that huge public market. So now that we've got the what down, let's talk about the who. Because a shift this big doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It's being driven by some of the industry's largest and most powerful organizations. And here's the real problem. All the big players are taking a stand. But they aren't taking the same stand. Everyone's drawing a line in the sand, but they're all drawing it in different places. This is what's causing all the uncertainty we're seeing. And the scope here is massive. As you can see, we're talking about everybody. You've got major brokerages making sudden U-turns on their policies. You have new tech platforms popping up that are really blurring the lines of what public marketing even means. Then there are powerful groups like real estate consortia issuing new rules, and of course, regulators just trying to keep up with it all. It's this whole complex ecosystem, and every single part of it is moving at once. Which, of course, leads to the most important question of all: why is this all happening right now? To figure that out, we need to look at what actually sparked this whole disruption in the first place. Yeah, a change this big and this fast needs a trigger, right? A spark that lights the whole fire. So, what was it? Well, it really boils down to two huge things happening at basically the same time. First, as this shows, we saw these new strategic partnerships form between old school brokerages and these data-heavy tech startups, which just blew up old alliances. And second, brand new listing platforms started to appear. And these aren't just websites, they're entire systems built to let agents market homes to an exclusive network before they go on the MLS. It was the perfect storm for total disruption. I mean, just look at this timeline. It really shows you the insane speed of this change. A month ago, things were pretty stable. Then, over just a handful of days, bam, a flurry of those partnership and platform announcements. And that leaves us right where we are today, in this state of strategic flux, where nobody is really sure what's coming next. Okay, so after all of that chaos, where do we go from here? This final section is all about the fallout and why there's now this urgent, desperate need for clarity about the future of real estate. And this brings us right back to that quote we started with. For the agents and brokers on the ground, the immediate result of all this is just confusion. Imagine trying to advise your clients and run your business when the fundamental rules of the game are changing every single day. It's a massive challenge. So if there is one big thing to take away from all this, it's this. We are literally watching an entire industry go through a rapid, fundamental transition. The old way of doing things has been challenged, and the new way, well, it just hasn't been written yet. And that leaves us with the big question that's now hanging over absolutely everyone. As these new rules are written, who's going to come out on top? Will it be the new tech platforms disrupting the market, the big established brokerages trying to hold on to their power, or And this is the most important one. Will it be the home buyers and sellers at the very center of it all? That's the billion-dollar question left in the wake of this whirlwind.